Nuts up, everybody! Hey, Justin, have you ever noticed how much Dustin loves cock? Hey, if you're listening to us on your favorite podcast platform, give us a 5-star review and share it with your friends.
Hey, have you ever noticed how much funnier Tony is drunk, Andy? Everyone, if you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, leave a like or a comment or something. You know, we want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, give us enough likes and comments, we'll get Tony drunk again.
Yeah, or we'll see Dustin's cock.
And now, get ready for some idiots talking about shit. Here is Justin, Tony, Destin, Andy. It's BACC Talk.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of BACC Talk. We got us all together. I'm a little under the weather today, so we'll try and get through this show. I'm sure these guys are going to carry me. But we got a good show. We'll continue on our game of wrong answers, right? We started our game last week, wrong answers. Got some other good stuff planned. Let's get it started off with Justin. Justin, what's going on with you, man?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Check back with me next week. Maybe something will have happened.
He needs help opening his beer.
I've got
You need help?
non-twisted.
Help.
It's probably not a twist
You
off.
seem pretty sad. Like you probably need a hug.
What a good idea. Oh, look, it's a hug. Everybody remember these? Nice.
Oh my gosh.
That's our new sponsor, Hugs. Everybody needs one. No, move on to somebody else that has an exciting life. I did nothing, and I enjoyed it.
Okay. Dustin, are you exciting for us this week?
Oh, nuts up.
Oh, nuts up. Yeah, I'm not drinking tonight, so I forgot. Nuts
Oh,
up.
shit. Well, nuts up to everybody else.
Now you know how bad I'm feeling. I'm not even drinking.
Yeah, I know. You
beer.
didn't even nuts up.
Yeah, so Dustin, what do you got going on, man?
Not much. I'm about as exciting as Justin this week. Not much going on. Just the normal stuff.
It's going to be an exciting show, people.
Went and played some bingo with my in-laws on Saturday night. I guess that was kind of my highlight of my evening, or weekend. And not much else going on besides work, gearing up for racing season, so working with that. But other than that, it's not much going on. Watched Duke beat North Carolina, Tony. I didn't watch it, but I watched their highlights, I guess. We're not friends anymore, according to Tony, because I wear a D on my shirt, not an NC, I guess. But no, but not much else going on. Didn't really watch the Pro Bowl. Not really into that flag football stuff. But I did hear somebody dislocated their toe playing flag football, so that's kind of interesting.
I didn't watch a damn minute of it.
I didn't watch a minute of it either. We were at my mom and dad's yesterday. They're flying up to Florida in a few hours here, so kind of gave them
As
their...
much as I'm a hockey guy, I didn't watch any of the NHL All-Star either, which I heard was terrible.
Yeah, I didn't watch that either. Didn't watch the Grammys. Didn't watch much this weekend. Checked out a little bit of the Clash at the Coliseum. It's always a weird event. A lot of cautions in that one this year because they had more cars, but...
Yeah, I did watch the Clash last night, but...
dabbled in on it.
Empty stadium, you know. So
yeah. Halftime show in the middle of a race. I mean, makes sense. The rumor is if Auto Club is not fully reconfigured next year, they're going to make that a points race. I don't know how you're going to put 40 cars on that track. Leaders are going to take green flag, and the last place car is going to be exiting two or in the middle of 1 and 2. I don't know how the hell that's going to work.
There's literally one racing line on that track, and if somebody's in it and you're faster than them, you hit them to get them out of the way, and that's how you pass. Like, that was a demolition derby, not a race. Like,
it's not a race.
I'm sorry.
Nope, I'm with you 110% on that. But yeah, other than that, my week was kind of blah. Played some video games like I always do, but other than that, haven't been doing much.
Justin, real quick, I did do something exciting this week. You reminded me. I got the original GoldenEye Bond on Xbox. Played the first level of it. You remember playing that game at all?
Oh yeah, I remember playing that on the 64.
Yeah, so they just redid that. I noticed it was on Switch and on Xbox, so I nabbed it on Xbox.
I did not know they redid that.
Yeah, I saw bad reviews on it, but I had nothing bad to say. I remember it. I remember playing it, and it still holds up. So.
Back in the day when games didn't get updates and there was always bad things going on, you just had to deal with it, you know, and when the people didn't crab about video games, about, oh, they need to do this, they need to do that, where's the update? We need to get this gun fixed.
It used to be that the games were just so good when they were good that you didn't think about how bad it was if, like, there were a few glitches.
Like, can you imagine back in the day, like on the Nintendo, getting updates for Mario?
Yeah. Well, the way that they do that, yeah, it's just like I can't keep up with that. That's
We're gonna have all these extra characters now. It's not just gonna be Mario, Luigi, Bowser. You're gonna have an extra bosses and all that. Oh.
Well, I played on a Switch until I found out about the Bond thing. I was playing on a Switch and I was playing the newest Mario Kart. And talk about like how many characters are in that game.
Too many.
You're getting cut off by like characters you've never heard of, or like some like fringe character from like Mario 2. And you just remember being so happy with like Nintendo, like Super Nintendo Mario. And now the kids just like, you give them gift cards. That's all I do is I give gift cards for like stuff, and they just buy fake shit. It's insane.
All cosmetic stuff in video games now. They make so much money off of it. It's crazy.
Dude, I was watching another podcast the other day. It's Gaston's podcast, Gaston Leroux. And he was talking to somebody, and they were asking how they got into wrestling. Well, this guy got into wrestling because he was given a Super Nintendo or a, I don't know, one of the further generations. And I'm like, that was your first system and first wrestling game? I'm like, oh my god, I'm old. Like,
yeah, right.
I remember playing Atari and like the crappy, you know, first computer games, and like, and before that it was just you just could only play in arcades. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, man, I'm old. Like,
no, and that's just it. I mean, you look at how far gaming came along and all that, and you know, that was my first system with an Atari. I mean, I don't know if anybody remembers the Virtual Boy, playing on a red screen. You put your head down and you're like right there. But it's like the systems have gotten so far advanced. I got my PS5 sitting next to me over here. But my mom and dad are always like, you're a gamer. I'm like, yeah, you did it to me. You're the one that bought me the Atari and the Nintendo and stuff growing up. You made me who I am. It's crazy. I mean, it's going back to the Atari and playing Bolo and baseball on that. And
do you remember the Bruce Lee game where you played as two-player? It was almost like a Commodore 64 game. And the second player was like your like little fat, like you could play as the second guy, like a little fat guy that runs behind Bruce Lee. You ever remember that game?
I remember it. My game back then for like karate and stuff was Double Dragon, but
yeah. Man, we might have to have an offshoot video game channel. Like, but,
yeah.
I try to watch people talk about video games on YouTube, and I can't get over like their personality sometimes. You know, like that's like I want to like watch people delve into like old video games and get nostalgic, but then like they're just like, here's how funny I am too, and you're like, no, just talk about the Bruce Lee game from Commodore 64.
Yeah, right.
So maybe we could do that for people. Andy, were you much of a gamer? You were actually.
Yeah, but it was I was all just I was outside playing sports, but like, yeah, I mean, I think my first system was a Nintendo. I mean, I remember Mario and Duck Hunt together is what I got, you know, for Christmas one year. But
yeah, we got that track and field with it too. When you got that power pad.
And so I never played all the other games. It was always sports games that I played.
Yeah.
Like, you know, hockey games were my favorite, followed probably by football and baseball. Didn't get much into basketball games. I loved double dribble, though. Like, that was fun.
Yeah.
Well, when you say basketball, the ultimate game anybody could play is NBA Jam.
Yeah, NBA Jam.
I used to feed that thing quarters. I mean, that game is so much fun.
I will tell you though.
That's going back to the arcade that Andy was talking about. You know what? That's what we did when we were kids. We went to the arcade and pumped quarters into it.
Yeah.
Now you go to the arcade. Now you got to. It costs $5 to play one game. It's like, what happened to the quarters?
No, it's even worse. You got to put money into a machine somewhere else and get a card.
Yeah, and get a card.
Go around and put your card in. It's like the Dave and Buster's fucking hell. Like no, like give me the old school. I want the whole experience,
I want to collect my tickets and sit there and hold them. What can I get for this? Oh, you get this or this. Oh, I want that. Well, you got to collect a million of them.
My favorite game ever, and first time I ever beat it, was an arcade game, and it was at a little local grocery store out here in Indiana. They had 2 video games in there, Mortal Kombat and WrestleFest, I think it was.
At WrestleFest.
And that was the one where you had to like go through the Royal Rumble or whatever, right?
Yep.
And I just kept pumping quarters every time you get pinned or whatever. You just pump quarters in to continue and continue and continue. So I played that all the way through, and I actually beat Street Fighter, the original Street Fighter.
Street.
Beat that at the same grocery store too with Blanca.
Blanca.
Yes, Blanca.
I instantly pictured him.
And it's just crazy to going back in time, looking at games like, we're talking about retro video games here now, and some kids listening to this podcast, they're like, what games are them? It's like, go play some old games. That's when gaming was fun.
Yeah.
I don't think they.
You actually had to sit side by side with a friend playing split screen or at an arcade, battling each other in Street Fighter or Double Dragon or anything like that. It was just a blast back then.
Yeah. Those some of those wrestling games were phenomenal, or in the early days too.
Yeah.
Then they got bad, and then they got good. Now they're getting bad again. Like, it's funny. I don't play any of the new stuff. I don't even have a console anymore.
Your kids have consoles?
Yeah, I gave all the consoles to the kids.
Are you updating them too? Are they like, Dad, I need PS5? Like, do they have the newest?
No, they don't have the PS5 or the new Xbox. They've got the previous versions. So
yeah, I got the older Xbox.
But they're in the handhelds a lot too. They're like the Nintendo DS. Like, my youngest loves that. Like,
the most selling Nintendo system ever made.
Is it really?
The DS. Yep.
Switch is pretty cool, though. I mean...
Or it's the Switch. That's what he is. That's what he has, the Switch. Sorry.
Yeah, the Switch.
The Switch is pretty cool. I mean, the things are too small for my fingers, though. So my thumb, like, hurts.
You guys had to be Wii guys, too.
Yeah. I got a Wii.
I had a Wii, and I hardly played any of it. But I had one. Like, it just...
The top-selling Nintendo game ever is Wii Sports, even though it came with the system.
What a groundbreaking experience that was. I mean, that came out how many, like 15 years ago, and like
until you figured out that you could sit on your sofa and flick your wrist and throw like the fastest fastball ever. Yeah. Like,
but it made for some serious family nights. Like, I feel like a lot of people have the experience of like somebody in their family had a Wii and they all just like chuckled their asses off playing.
I'll tell you what we played as a family on the Wii was Mario Party.
Yep, Mario Party, yep.
Mario Party's always a fest. That's always a good time. Especially if you get a lot of people that are into it,
Mm-hmm.
They actually made special gloves for that game as well.
Tony, we haven't heard a word out of you. So
are you a gamer, Tony?
So, I mean, back in the day, I wasn't like you guys. I didn't go to arcades, stuff like that, because most of the time I was just outside doing stuff. So growing up, I did have the NES and Sega Genesis, and then I waited to get on PlayStation, stuff like that. And I just have the Xbox S, so yeah. I didn't go through all the stages of everything.
He's a gamer.
Yeah, you've been kink.
Right, a stamp on that forehead, yeah.
That was
certified.
What stamp was called. Yeah.
Certified gamer.
So what was what's your favorite all-time game? Like I think mine is probably the WrestleFest from the arcade, but what's your favorite?
Mine back in those days, NES was. I love the turtle games.
Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Which one? The one that was like the arcade game, or the one that was impossible, where you had to defuse the bomb while swimming?
Oh gosh, I mean, I hated that one too.
Remember how nobody got past the second board?
Mine was more of the arcade style, so because I remember playing that game
Yeah.
Pizza Hut when you got your little book it thing and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. Well,
So-
we all remember that.
So I think it was like 2 or 3 Christmases ago, I bought for one of my boys this gaming system, but all it is, it's I don't know, 4 or 5 feet long, and it's got, I don't know, 4 joysticks and buttons on it, and it's preloaded with like 500 old arcade games. WrestleFest is on it.
Because what you're talking about is like the old-fashioned like console,
Yeah.
like arcade setups. Yeah, I've seen that, and that looks amazing. I've always thought about getting one.
So
You can
got
download
one,
more games. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been on it much. I mean, it's kind of a pain in the ass because the cords aren't long enough to put it up to like it's, you know what I mean? So it's a pain in the ass. Like you almost have to get that and then build a cabinet and get a monitor for it.
Tony, did you ever beat any of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games?
Oh, not very often. I think I beat the arcade style like once. Not the one with the bombs, like Justin was saying. You know, where you had to swim in the water and do all that. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, talk about understanding what a panic attack was at that young.
Yeah,
I mean, the shit they did to kids, you know.
like I don't even think we could do it now these days. You know, try to use it.
I downloaded on Wii. Last time I remember playing it, I was having like flashbacks because I still couldn't do it, and it was like.
The thing is with it, back then, you know, they made games to where you got to a point and it made you frustrating. You know, like what Tony was saying with the bomb. So you die, kind of like Andy talking about WrestleFest. He's pumping them quarters in. I'm continuing. Yeah. I'm not stopping. And you got people weird. Standing behind you, a quarter up. I'm next. Well, it'll be a while. I got to roll.
It's kind of weird when you're not paying. It's weird when you're not paying for it, though, isn't it? Because then it's like, when do you stop?
Yeah.
Like when you've already paid for the game.
Well, those old games, too, you died and there was no continue.
Yeah, like on the Nintendo. Yep.
Yeah, you went back to the beginning. That's why I think everybody's first game that they probably beat, at least people our age, was Contra.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, up, down, left, right, left. Like you couldn't do it with.
Everybody knew the infinitive code, and then you put that in, and you beat the game.
I think it was 99. But 99 is basically infinity. You know, I think it was 99 guys or something.
Then you look at Mario. Everybody started figuring out how to warp worlds and all that, and.
Well, and you could get infinite lives on Mario, too, by jumping on that
2.
one turtle. Yeah.
Yep, level 2 at the top of the thing.
Well, yeah, and then also in Mario 3 on board 2, I think 1-3. You know, board 3, you could just keep going back and forth on like the turtles.
Yep.
Like with your tail, you can do as many as you want.
Oh, when you got the foxtail or whatever, yeah.
But then, but it still took, even like Contra. Contra was like, you know, you had infinite lives, but it still took you hours to beat the game, and there was no pause, there was no save, there was no, like, you had to sit there and play it through. Well, you could pause it, but like
you could pause it, but it would glitch out and maybe freeze up on you if you let it set too long.
Right.
You know, I remember, like, up here in Minnesota during the winters, you know, when it got really cold out, I mean, we had sleepovers where we had cases of Mountain Dew, and we sat up playing Mortal Kombat or whatever we were playing that night. I mean, like, when the PlayStation 1 came out, or PS1 came out, it was Twisted Metal. Just play Twisted Metal constantly till, you know, you could not stay awake anymore. And it was out, you know, we'd go to bed at, like, 6 o'clock in the morning and start gaming again, like, at 8. It's like, oh, here we go again, you know, but that's what we did, you know, when you couldn't go outside, but.
Oh, yeah. I mean, many a game's paused for a long time because of the.
Well, wasn't there a thing in Mario that, like, where you died at, you could hit, like, start and, like, B together like that? You could start at that world again or something like that. There was stuff for it.
Remember it, but
well, then the PlayStation.
You had to buy the game. What was that magazine that everybody got?
Nintendo Power?
No. There was another one, too.
You had to get the Game Genie first.
Game Genie first, yeah. But there was
wasn't it?
it?
It was one of those, and those had the codes in them. That's where you
Yeah.
found codes for shit.
Well, that's like Mortal Kombat. You feel badass when you finally figured out how to do the like Sub-Zero freezing and the fatalities and stuff. You felt like
Right.
the king of gaming, But if you didn't have that magazine didn't come out, it's like
You didn't know how to
crazy.
do some of the moves in some of the games. Yeah, you had to have somebody else that knew how to do it or whatever. But it was crazy.
It's crazy on how it
There's a lot of
goes.
fatality moves. You know,
So-
your game could be gory, and you're like
Yeah.
excited about that.
So, Justin, what was your all-time favorite game?
My all-time favorite game is, and I have answered it on the show before, Fallout.
Fallout.
I don't know.
Well, you got the guy
Fallout
there.
4, I think. Yeah. I don't buy stupid trinkets for mere video games I like, but Fallout's such a cool game that like I like a lot of stuff about it.
I was a big Twisted Metal guy. I was.
Yeah, I can see that.
Andy, how about you?
It was WrestleFest.
This WrestleFest?
Yeah, I mean that was great.
All time.
And then I think like probably console game Blades of Steel was
Oh, yeah.
awesome as hell. Love that because like I said, I was a sports gamer and mostly hockey. I mean, if there was a hockey game out, I owned it.
Yep.
Everything from the original NHL to Mario Lemieux, Wayne Gretzky's, Blades of Steel. I think I owned it.
Mario Lemieux, didn't you?
You got the puck with Lemieux's fake signature on it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yo, how did the beginning of Blades of Steel go? You remember?
Blades of Steel. Did it go like that?
You missed the part though.
Ching.
Yeah.
Another game that we didn't really say was sports was probably NFL Blitz. It was always fun to play.
Well, the best was the first. Was it Joe Montana's that had the first play-by-play?
Yeah,
Sports Talk, wasn't it? Joe Montana's Sports Talk Football or something like that.
something like that.
Had the first play-by-play of in a sports game, which made that phenomenal. There was a baseball game, and I wish I knew the name of it. It was an arcade game, and I wish I knew the name of it because it's probably another one that I really enjoyed playing, if I could find it. But it had Vin Scully as the play-by-play announcer. It was like World Series or something like that. I don't remember. You remember seeing anything like that, Tony? You're probably a baseball guy, so.
No, I don't remember seeing anything like that.
Yeah, I think it was Vin Scully was the announcer.
I got MLB 2004, MLB 2002.
But which one was an arcade style game?
Okay.
This wasn't a console game. This was an arcade style game. While they're looking at that, Tony, why don't you tell everybody how your week was, since we didn't ask you yet?
Nah, just like the others, it was pretty boring. Didn't really do much, just work, try to get back into the flow. I mean, and Saturday, I went to some little event, I guess, so hold on, I do have a picture. I'll show you guys of what I did Saturday night. So, yeah, let's see here.
Look at that, Justin
Who's
and
that?
Dustin.
That's
what Tony did.
Charlie Key.
Damn, is Charlie Key a giant?
Charlie Key is compared to me. Sorry,
Yeah, is he a giant or are you a Smurf?
I am just very short. So yeah, I went to that event. I'm sitting there, and he comes out, and he's like, "Hey, is that Tony?" I'm like, "Hey, Charlie Key, look at that! I need a picture." So I got a picture with Charlie Key.
Met your
Impression
hero.
of him?
Yeah,
Met
one
your
of them,
hero.
and then I met the other. So I gotta get this one framed. So
I can't quite read what it says, but it
What do you
looks
think?
autographed. Looks autographed.
it says, "Thank you for not being shades." Eric Draven.
Oh boy.
Good lord. I was there too, and I watched Tony go over and fanboy out on Eric Draven.
Did you go eat burgers afterwards?
No, it was too late.
Oh.
Damn it.
But we talked about it, So when I was over, I turned around, we were pointing at Andy, like, yeah, look at the little loser over there. But So yeah, it was a
Was
good
it
time.
weird? Was it weird for you? Like, were you disbanded from Andy? Did you, or like, did you just go over and talk to them for a while, and then, did you have to pretend you weren't friends with Andy now that you had your new friends?
Well, no, I mean, I talked to them for a little bit. Rhino was sitting next to him, so me and Rhino talked a little bit about, the Bengals, so that was pretty nice to actually talk to him about stuff like that. And then Charlie, with the picture, when he came out, he was actually looking at, Andy, giving him a look. Then he seen me and he got all happy. So I was like, hey, so I'm like, I was sitting behind Andy. I was like, here, you got to take a picture. And he was all disgruntled. He's like, you want me to fucking take a picture? I'm like, yeah, I'll fucking take our picture because it's me and Charlie Key here, buddy.
I had to take a picture of him and Charlie Key.
Oh, wow. How cordial of you.
Yeah.
How nice of you.
At least he obliged and took it of us. So.
Well, I didn't mind taking it when it makes Tony look like a Smurf.
I guess it's true. So.
But then he was over there fanboying with Draven for a while.
Yeah.
Would you say he fanboyed more over Draven than with
Yeah, I think he went over to Draven's table like 3 times.
Yeah.
More so than did everybody get to meet God, I'm forgetting the name now. The wrestler y'all went to see. The one who
Rhino.
Rhino.
You guys get to meet him and shit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're saying you're still
He's a
more
good dude.
excited that you met Charlie Key or
I would be way more excited to meet Rhino.
I was, but I was, but I met him and seen him in person. His legs are like the size of freaking tree trunks. So.
What about the size of you then?
The only downfall to Rhino was he teamed up as a tag team with Draven to wrestle.
So it was just not kicking then?
So what's the downside?
No.
I don't know the downside.
I don't know why you would
Did Rhino gore the nuts?
Rhino gored one of the Russians.
Oh no, Andy. Those are your friends.
Yeah, apparently my friends, right? Like,
Those are your co-conspirators.
Yeah, according to, Charlie Key. But
Just in case of the short show, I'm going to take one of my 4 shots that I got to take tonight because you idiots.
Yeah, go ahead and do that.
Brought it up. I'm so sorry.
So since Tony brought up the show,
cheers.
Since Tony brought up the show and the wrestling show that we attended on Saturday, and I was there too. It was a great show, as always, put on by Supreme Wrestling. This one was really good for a really good cause.
Right.
A lot of people in attendance. It went to the American Society for Suicide Prevention, I think, was the. Was where the charitable donations went to. All the ticket sales, everybody who walked through the door, the ticket sales went to the cause. So,
crowd
of it, huh? Yeah,
good crowd?
Good turnout. Good turnout.
It's
Really
awesome
good
to
turnout.
see. That's awesome to hear for that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Or for that cause.
And with that being said, and what the show was about and what it was for, I have a huge shout out, and I want to put somebody over real fast. And I hope Tony will agree with this, but I want to shout out to Tanner Saturn. Before the show started, Tanner came out and gave a speech and told everybody that no matter what they're going through in their life, no matter what is going on, that they are loved. I swear he looked every single person in the crowd in their eyes and told them he loved them. It was a very emotional promo he had, but huge shout out to him. He did a phenomenal job with it. The message got across, and it was awesome to hear. Tony, what'd you think of that?
Yeah, it was good. He did a really good job. Just to talk about what he talked about took a lot of guts. So yeah, applaud him on that part definitely. And yeah, he did look everybody in the eye. So yeah, he did his thing.
You didn't record it for us that aren't allowed to be there?
No. I will reach out to some of the people in Supreme and see if I can't get a video of it, or if they put it up on YouTube or Facebook. We'll get everybody a link. We'll somehow try and figure out how you guys can see it. I think it's well worth everybody hearing. because even if you weren't at the show, the message is still real, and it still
Right.
applies to you, even though you weren't at the show. So that was before the show kicked off, and that is the. But to me, I just want to give, and again, I call these wrestlers who every single one of them, including Eric Draven and Charlie Key, would kick my ass. I call some of them kids because they're a hell of a lot younger than me. But this kid did a phenomenal job getting in front of this crowd, talking about what he talked about, looking everybody in the eye and telling them they were loved. And I will tell you, there were tears in the crowd. He did a phenomenal job. So, huge shout out to Tanner Saturn. So, guys, remember that name because you may see him down the line somewhere if you don't get a chance to see him at Supreme. Anyway, so then we did have the rest of the show, and I guess I gotta walk back something or eat my words a little bit here. Last week's show I called Charlie soft. And it's not that Charlie is soft in the ring. He had a banger of a match, and I'll give him his props on it. He had a banger of a match, came out on top, finished the match against a much bigger opponent with the key lock and took the victory. In a really banger match. Give him his props. Good job. Charlie Key, not soft in the ring. Maybe a little soft mentally, right? Gonna take the heat a little bit, but yeah, definitely someone would probably kick my ass too. So I'm not shy from that. So
Are you gonna kick him in the nuts?
maybe. I mean, I don't mind that. I mean, what's the worst thing that could happen to me? I already been kicked in the face by Draven.
You survived.
I survived. It didn't kill me. One of these days, one of them might. I don't know. If I'm not here one week, you guys all know what happened.
Yeah, this is like a
Yeah. So I want to give him his props, and I'll let Tony kind of clarify the match a little bit too, because that's his hero. You got anything to say about Charlie's match?
It was good. It was a kickoff, so they kicked off with his match. So, yeah, got to see some Charlie Key in action. He is definitely going to move up the ranks since, that tournament is coming up the end of the month they were talking about. Mm-hmm. I can't remember the guy's name that came out at the beginning, but said, hey, this is the guy I'm backing, Charlie Key, to win it all, and I agree. I think Charlie Key's going to take it all, go through all that tournament, and get that belt.
And that's the King of Supreme tournament at the end of the month, is last Friday and Saturday of February. For anybody who wants to go down to Madison and check it out, it's King of the Ring. We talked about it last week with Charlie, but it's King of the Ring style. And there is a belt on the line. If I say it wrong, I would feel bad, so I don't want to say the name of the belt. Central States Championship.
Central State title, yeah.
Is on the line. Yeah, I mean, Charlie would be a force to. But there's a lot of good people that are wrestling in that tournament too. Gaston LaRue is going to be in it. I don't know if Draven's in it or not. I think Draven's in it. So there's going to be a lot of really good wrestlers. A lot of them that we talked about. Tanner Saturn will be in it. Who also had an awesome match. Highlight, though, was Leon Elliott power bombing somebody off the top rope. Sit down power bomb off the top rope was pretty nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you got to say about the show there Tony, since you fanboyed it?
What else? I can't remember the guy's name. It wasn't Leon. It was the other guy with the mohawk and the spike.
Angus. We're going to call him Angus because I don't want to butcher his last name and say it wrong. So RKO out of nowhere. Guy jumps off the second rope, comes over, and there it is. Boom, RKO. Set up. Perfect.
Well, it sounds like the show was pretty sweet.
It was
They
a
put
good
on
show.
a good show for you guys.
I didn't get involved. I just sat in my seat.
Yeah, I was disappointed.
Didn't want to get Rhino riled up at me since he was teaming with Draven. That would have been a bad idea.
So you were afraid of the gore.
Yeah, that would have sucked. I mean, that would have sucked. I'm telling you, that would have really sucked.
Either.
So I didn't do anything. I didn't mean mug or talk trash. I mean, Draven walked by me a couple times on his way to the ring, whatever. But then dude stares me down as he's leaving after the match. Tony or Anthony Betancourt, he had a lot to say, come up to me and tell me, no shenanigans tonight and all this other stuff. And put a chair down next to me and said, if we have to, we'll put an enforcer here. And,
I'm surprised they didn't set Tony down there to be their enforcer.
Well, after he was over there fanboying with Draven, I kind of thought that's what was going to happen.
Right? I mean, I'm surprised Tony still. You're allowing Tony to be around us.
It's the original part of the crew. We're not going to kick him out.
Not yet.
Not yet. Maybe later. We'll see. Dustin, have you had a little time to sleep on this? Last week you were a little bit teetering after talking with Charlie Key. You got any? Have you woke up yet? Where are you at now?
Woke up. I don't know where I'm at yet, but Justin, shut up. No, I may have been wrong on how I was feeling. I mean, I just after hearing Charlie talk and all that, I got fired up, I guess I should say. But I mean, I gotta say I'm on the shade side. I mean, I should put my shades on, but I don't have my shady raised yet. I haven't got them yet. I haven't put an order in for them yet. But I mean,
welcome back to the shade side. The dark side, the shade side.
I know. I didn't talk to you all week over this. I mean, we haven't talked since last week when we recorded this, and I know you're upset at me, but I woke up a little bit. I got to get back on the shade side. I got to get back on the shady side of things. I mean, it is what it is when it comes down to it. Sorry, Tony, you lost me, man.
Russians, really, Russians. He working with Russians.
Well, I'm half Russian,
so here's the thing, Tony, that you failed to miss, and I think Dustin failed to miss this too originally, but I think he realizes it now. If you listen to what Charlie Key said, we talked about Draven kicking people in the nuts, and he goes, "Well, sometimes you just have to do what you have to do to get your point across, get the victory, whatever. Sometimes you just have to do." What you have to do.
Sometimes you got to be the dirtiest player in the game.
Like, it's not that I support these Russians or that, we're best friends or I'm best friends with Damon Blade or none of that. Like, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. And if we remember, the last time there was an encounter, dude kicked me in my face. And then he broke my shades. Then he broke my shades.
I like these a lot better.
And if you forget in your foggy head there, Tony, that's really small because we saw it in the picture next to Charlie Key's. Okay, if you lose this in your foggy head, did Eric Draven come to the ring to break my shades alone?
I don't know. Who did he have?
He had Legion with him.
Did he?
The man with the stick.
Stick guy.
So two guys come up on a non-wrestler, uninvited. So yeah, I got to start playing dirty. If that meant taking an opportunity that was created by the Russians, then I took that opportunity. if that opportunity it was created by anybody else.
2 claps?
I'm sick. I don't think I can woo. Woo!
Well, you know what I mean, though. I mean, you got to take your spots where you get them. I mean, and that's where I lost the communication last week. It's like, well, Andy's siding with these bad guys. What the heck's going on here? And I mean, after thinking about it for a week, it's like, no, Andy saw the opening and he went to cut that nice Goldilocks of hair. That, do you have a picture of what Draven looks like now, Andy?
I mean, he really didn't do that bad of a job because I didn't see a difference. I mean, he might have took like a half inch off.
You haven't been there.
So
you went to one show in 5 years.
So Draven's hair used to be down to probably about the middle of his back. After he got it fixed, it's just past his shoulders now.
So Andy took off the dead ends for him. That's what he was doing. He was just trimming it up. He really didn't do nothing.
So you made him look like what's the Brady Bunch girl's name that's always combing her hair? Marsha Brady. So is he combing it and making it all like straight?
I mean, it's shorter than what it was. Did I get him down to Tony length? No,
well, if you get him down to Tony length, I think I'd be a little upset too if I was Draven. But
I will tell you though, from what it looked like, and Tony can maybe vouch for this or not, but from what it looked like to me, was that Anthony Betancourt felt really bad that Draven had to get his hair cut. And when he felt so bad, he must have been sulking at the time, then he took a weed whacker to his head.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen.
Well, everybody's cutting their hair now.
I have a side-by-side. We can see the damage Andy did.
Okay.
All right. Let me be 75 years old and remember how to share my screen again.
You gotta go back and play arcades.
Oh boy, what button is it this one? Okay. Whatever the fuck that is. Okay. Here he is. Right?
Yeah.
And I guess this is him. See his hair? Like, can you see my arrow? See
yeah, it's down to his titty.
Yeah.
It's down to his
Basically,
titty.
his hair is at the middle of the belt that he's holding. All the way down there. And here he is now.
Yeah.
See that? So,
Yeah.
he lost that much hair. Because, I mean, I don't know how recent that picture is, but that's how I remember his hair recently, especially when he was on that pod shed. In the pod shed.
Yeah, and that picture you have there with the shorter hair was from Saturday.
Yeah. Now you recognize the referee, I guess? Or,
yeah, and the building.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. Yeah.
Thinking he's trying to say two, but I'm thinking he's like freaking out saying woo at the same time.
I don't know what maybe that should be our question.
What's
Wrong
Raven
answer.
doing in that picture?
Wrong answers question. Shall we get started with the wrong answers question right now?
Right,
Justin,
pull up the picture. I'm gonna
pull up the picture again, and we're gonna play.
What's the question for this? What's the question?
So fill in the blank. Mr. Referee, Tony.
That's the question, Mr. Referee.
Fill in the blank. What is he saying to the referee? Mr. Referee.
What's Draven saying to the referee? Fill in the blank.
Fuck, you just put me on the spot.
It's
the way this game goes.
This one you can't think about it.
Mr.
All right,
Referee.
you know what? I'm gonna cut. You know what? I'm gonna do this differently because Tony is in last place. I will use him last. I will go to first place first, which is Justin. Draven says to the referee, Mr. Referee.
Now, there's no time on this, right?
Well, I don't like dead air very much.
We're live, man.
I'm just saying, I'm not trying to think of like the one thing. I'm just trying to think of anything at all to say. Because all I'm thinking of is what he's actually saying, which is probably something like, all right.
Okay.
All right.
Are you ready, Tony?
Yep. Say it again.
All right, let Tony.
All right, Tony. Draven is saying, Mr. Referee.
You said you wanted 2 midget hookers after the match. You're probably right.
Tony could have been one of them.
Not saying what he's probably saying, guys.
Yeah, that's
All
what
right.
I would have said.
We bought you some time, Justin. We're back to Justin. Justin, Draven says to the referee, Mr. Referee.
4.
Holding up 2 fingers and says 4. Okay.
Definitely wrong.
Okay. Dustin. Draven says to the referee, Mr. Referee.
Am I supposed to put 2 fingers on my cock? I'm looking at his hand going down to his genital area, his own genital area. That's not on screen. Am I supposed to put 2 fingers on my cock?
Oh boy! So let's repeat the answers so they're fresh in my head. Tony, your answer was
Say the question.
Mr. Referee.
You said you wanted 2 midget hookers after the match, right?
I do like that.
Justin, Mr. Referee.
Justin or Justin?
Justin.
Mr.
Can't-
Referee. 4.
Dustin, Mr. Referee.
Am I supposed to put 2 fingers on my cock?
Those are all really good answers.
That is how I mess with it.
They are all really good answers. God, how to judge this one?
It's not fun being the judge. It's definitely not.
No, especially when they're
with
good.
stuff like this.
Especially when they're all good. Yeah, like
They're all good. Now that
Like,
we're in the game, after last week, we're all like floating all over the river here.
yeah, I was thinking of something just thinking of something I would say I don't even know, but it was something about we have 2 horses in the stall that need milking. Something like that.
Nothing like an improv too, because Andy probably had a different question to ask, but
I
just
did.
to bring up that picture, it was fun.
I did.
Now
It's
you can
even
say that
written
next
down.
week.
It's written down in my notes where I'm keeping score what today's question was. But
Well, you can say that for next week now.
Dustin, did you say impromptu? You literally said impromptu.
Improv
That's what he said. Impromptu. Referee. I almost said Your Highness.
too. Your
You call
Highness.
the referee. I hear they have to call referees Your Highness in wrestling. Is that true?
no.
That's my
No.
new answer. That's my new answer.
No, you can't change your
You
answer.
can't change your answer. So this week, Tony gets 3 points. Moves him to 4 points.
Damn, I'm losing.
Dustin, 2 points. Moves you.
I'm the middle guy in this shit. Actually, middle guy's good.
Moves you to 4 points. Justin, 1 point.
Moves
Which
him to
gives
4
you
points.
4 points.
Now there's that fucking half point I screwed up last week.
Yep, see? There you are. But we have a
So, 2
tie.
weeks ago, what was the punishment? What was the first punishment you announced last week, Andy?
I remember. You want me to say? You got to go into like
Yes.
an aisle where you have feminine products and ask the lady to help you.
For tampons. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yes. Yeah.
So what is the next punishment, Andy? You said we were going to announce 1 a week.
Yes. Will be 5 random beans.
Of your beans or our beans?
Your
Wait
beans.
for you to mail them to 'em?
5 random beans consecutively.
Yeah.
Bang,
So you
bang,
just
bang.
pick 5 up, Eat one, chew it up, put one in, eat it, chew it up. Consecutive 5 beans.
Oh, we're going to have dead fish, dirty water. We're going to have a mix. This is going to be interesting. I want that one. I'll do that one on my own.
We'll see who picks.
For the Wheel of Death. The Wheel of Punishment, I guess, that's what that one's probably called.
Yeah. So tampon help is one of them, and then 5 beans. And I have the scores right now. So we got 2 more questions, 2 more weeks on the questions for this month of wrong answers, and the score right now is tied.
So if we
And
all would tie,
if there is a tie, the tie break will be another question between
Sounds
the
like a
people
plan.
that tied. Between the people that tie. So, and it will be a question that episode still. So 2 questions in an episode if we have to. So there
well,
you
we
have
got to
it.
thank Eric Draven for that awesome picture we had to do wrong answers.
I can't believe, Tony, you said that about your hero.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything about him. I was just saying that, the ref wanted 2 midget hookers. So, didn't say nothing bad about him.
Were you one
So
of
the guy,
the
so
hookers?
the guy that can wrangle that type of action is somehow better. I mean, you're painting him out to be like a dirty ass motherfucker.
So is he a mini pimp?
Hey,
Yeah.
just like you guys said, you do what you got to do to win. So,
Right. Well, he's got a little pissed.
I mean, if he was bribing, he was bribing. So,
That's so Draven.
That's so Draven.
I'm gonna make it sick.
So have you guys heard the new BACC episode song that Justin
Did you hear
put
the,
together?
Did you hear the new one? The one that I fixed?
I did.
Yeah. What, you don't like it?
So there is a second one. I'm going to put it out there for everybody, but I do have an idea on kind of mixing the 2. I liked
Yeah, go ahead.
I liked the beginning part of the second one better, and I liked the non-echoed version of like the stanza.
First one?
Yeah.
All right, we gotta mix them then. You're like initially, you guys are all supposed to do like vocals, not like the rapping or anything, but like the da 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 da's and all that stuff. And like somebody's got to be picked to be like "Sup Shades" and yeah yeah yeah. I was thinking,
Well, we can redo that part too. So
that's a jumping off point, and that's something you guys can record with no other sounds, like, and then send it to me, and I can put it where it goes.
yeah.
Like,
And you can
so
even
I
send
think,
it to him as a video. You can send it to him as a video, and he can rip the audio out of it, right?
Here's
Yeah.
to the second one.
There
Yeah,
we
there
go.
you go.
Number 2
Yeah,
going down.
We've blustered past Dustin doing his drinking. We didn't give that enough fanfare yet. I think we.
So Oh wow.
So last.
The first one was Jim Beam Vanilla.
Okay.
Yeah.
The second one was Bacardi Gold.
And this is all because you got picked to drink last week.
The Wheel of Death.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So we still haven't decided, because we spun it again last week because Tony was supposed to drink and wussed out. So I did it for him. So we spun it on the drinking show. Are we going to spin this wheel every week or every other week?
Monthly.
I thought we were doing every other week.
We can do it every other week. We'll spin it next week again, but not this week.
We won't spin it this week. We'll spin it next week so that the person drinks the following.
I was honestly trying to figure out shots I could like toast to all of you, but I was like, I had lost track of time, so I just grabbed a bunch of random shots.
So we had Charlie on last week, and he ran away. Like I said, soft mentally.
Yeah,
Not
he like just
Not
left.
physically, but mentally. Yeah, I don't know. But did anybody catch that he was on Developmentally Speaking?
I did catch that.
I saw it.
Tony, did you see that?
Tony,
That's your
I heard,
boy.
I heard something about it, but I didn't have time to watch
Man, he
it
must have been busy
because
that night.
Charlie Key visited the pod shed.
Yeah, he went to
It
the
was
pod
something to
shed.
see.
Yeah, he was in the pod shed with Morty, and
Yeah.
what I saw out of that,
Listen, I gotta say real quick, I like the other. What's the other guy's name? Ryan.
Brian. Brian's the smart one. Brian's the smart one on development.
Brian's the one that put the shades on. He thought he was cool with his
No,
pink
Brian,
shades.
he was anyway, I'll let you get to it, but he was kind of in your corner.
Yeah. Well,
where anybody with the brain
he thinks clearly, right? He's the smart one of the group. He understands.
He could see things clearly, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially now that the rain is gone.
Yeah, exactly.
I figured. I was hoping somebody would go there.
Brian's the smart one, and maybe Morty in his wrestling days took too many hits to the head. I don't know, but he seemed to issue a challenge. Morty did.
Yeah.
To me,
Yeah, he issued a challenge to you, Andy.
to me.
Yeah.
So, Dustin, you want to tell it or?
No, go ahead. This is your glory, man.
It ain't no glory, but
I can tell it.
yeah, go ahead, Justin. Tell us what happened.
So Andy's not a wrestler, but Draven is, right? But Mortimer's not a wrestler, and Andy's not a wrestler. So what do you think's the next thing that came out of Mortimer's mouth?
Right.
A challenge between you and Mr. Blankenship. Did I get it right?
Yeah, but he wants to have a conversation.
Oh,
It's a conversation match.
No, I
Yes.
assumed there was gonna be a match. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's right.
It's like a debate. It's like we're going back to high school having a debate.
Wants to sit down and play chess.
I don't know. Yeah, that was issued a little bit of a challenge.
Andy, how's your chess skills?
I'm all right. I know.
Or do we need to do checkers? I think
You
Morty
saw that.
would be.
You saw. I have that device that guy had that won the chess world championship.
Oh, okay,
So,
nice.
yeah.
Maybe shoots and ladders would be a lot better for you guys.
It might.
Or you can play
might be all right.
golf.
Golf.
Play golf since he has that.
Yeah. We can play golf. Maybe have a driving
play
contest.
Yeah.
But he wants to have a conversation. I'm down. Accepted.
Let's do it.
Conversation where? In the pod shed? I mean, you went to the pod shed, wasn't that?
No,
I've already been to pod.
In the middle of
Listen,
the-
I've been to the pod shed. He couldn't handle me in the pod shed and told me to leave. So where does he want to have this conversation now?
Hold on. Tony had an idea here, I think. Tony, what's your idea?
Oh, this was it. He said in the middle of the ring he wants to have a conversation.
Okay.
That's a trick. That's
So-
a trick. That's a trick.
Yeah,
Go back. It's a trap.
You better watch out. Somebody might have his back. You better have somebody on your back.
You better have the Russians. I hate to
Yeah,
say
you
it.
better have that Russians ready to go. Sounds like a setup, Andy. I wouldn't do it. I'd have some backup.
Preferably like somebody that's not Russian, but find some help.
Yeah, I think two steps ahead all the time. So, I'm not worried about getting if he wants to have it in the middle of the ring in front of everybody. And what's going to happen? We're in the middle of the ring, and when he can't handle me in the middle of the ring verbally, he's going to throw a fit there in front of everybody. I mean, he just threw a fit in front of God knows how many people watched that episode of Developmentally Speaking when I was on it, when he threw a fit and threw me out. What was he going to throw me out of the ring? Oh no!
Yeah, he threw you out of the pod shed that you didn't want to be in.
Can he throw you out of the ring? Is it his ring?
No, he's not Supreme Wrestling. That's Anthony Betancourt's.
Can Anthony throw you out of the ring, or would it take, in that case, somebody that owns the building to do it?
Listen, I think he's tied up too much in legal right now that he doesn't want to try and ban me from any, attending any events or whatever.
With this whole communication in the ring, little conversation in the ring, you two should have a conversation in the ring, but you might need to have a couple moderators in there.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're
Maybe-
gonna do it, but I mean, Tony could
maybe
side with
remote.
Morty and whatever. You just might need to get somebody to side with you and have a conversation.
I'll just bring my tripod and one of you guys can be there.
Why don't?
Well, I might make the fly down there, man. It's only a what?
He just has
Andy,
to
you
tell
just
me.
made the drive. How bad is it?
Listen, I accepted it. He tells me where and when he wants to have this conversation, and I'll show it up. Like
Have a
Morty and
conversation.
I for over the years have been friends. The reason we're not seeing eye to eye right now is because of Eric Draven.
Hold on. He might kidnap you in this conversation and take you to Cornette's house.
Make me on him. Shit and show.
That might be
Maybe
bad.
that's what it is. Maybe he's trying to hog tie me and throw me in the car and take me to Cornette's house.
Yeah, maybe that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get Cornette on his podcast. And he did say a couple weeks ago that we'll bring Andy there and he can ring the doorbell.
I'll sell him some Girl
I think
Scout
it's
cookies.
a trap. I think it's a trap. They look like
Thin Mints? You're going to sell him some Thin Mints?
Well, Justin, I hear you, but like, again, Morty and I, we were friends. We were, close. We had conversations about stuff and whatever. Prior to this Eric Draven stuff, I've known Morty a lot longer than I've had any interaction with Eric Draven. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and see if he wants to, clear the air where he stands. I'll tell him whatever. I'm not looking for a fight, not looking for whatever. I mean, I showed up at his pod shed out of respect for him to be on his show, and
So what you're saying is you're manning up. You're going to have this conversation with Morty.
yeah.
When and where to be determined.
Yeah, he can pick the terms.
Yeah.
When, where, whatever.
Man up.
As long as I'm available, give me a couple dates that could work, and I'll make myself available. One of them, and we'll have this conversation. Whatever you want to do.
So Morty, I know you watch our podcast because you hate us calling your shed a pod shed, your studio a pod shed. Name the dates. Let's make this happen.
Not in a
Not in the pod shed. We need to find a new.
No, I'm saying not in a ring. Don't trick him into the ring.
We need to find a neutral playground here.
I'm good. Listen again, Justin. I don't mind going and talking to him in a ring, in front of everybody. Again, I have a little bit of faith in him based on our previous relationship.
Yeah. Meet in the ring. Do it.
Yeah, meet in the ring then.
Neither one of you are wrestlers. You're having some fun. Having a conversation.
I'm just saying, maybe get a sniper or something. Shit, I used to be a marksman.
Well, okay. Well, you're in Jersey. It's a long shot. I got a long shot. We'll put the red dots out there. We'll be fine. One of us will hit.
Yeah. I mean,
and if not, maybe we'll just both hit Tony.
listen, we all know I know how to throw a nut shot and defend myself. Okay, so
you might need to grow from that, though, Andy. You might need to get away from the nut shot because you got to get away from the Draven stuff, man. You can't copy Draven. You got to find your own way.
I mean, listen, I've watched enough wrestling in my life. I'm sure I could throw a clothesline, something along the lines of that. I don't know.
So if you could throw a clothesline,
and I've also been listen. It doesn't have to be a wrestling move. I've been a hockey player my entire life. I know how to fight.
You could cross-check somebody.
Cross-check him.
Bring my hockey stick. He's got his golf club. I'll bring my hockey stick. Whatever.
No, honestly, Andy. I mean, me as a person, I've gone to the shady side. I mean, we're with that. But how'd you not take out Tony last weekend when he was against you?
Tony's still my bud. I mean, he's.
Well, you said that last week. I love Tony and all that, but he's going to the dark side.
Yeah, he'll find out soon enough that he's on the wrong side of things. That's all. Hey, we all make bad decisions in life, and Tony's just making a bad one now. That's all.
You know he's wearing an orange shirt. He's on the dark side, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
Tony, I know you caught the Star Wars reference there.
yeah, he doesn't. He's just making a bad decision, and that's okay. He can make a bad decision.
He's going back to his roots.
Yeah, he's protecting Madison.
He lost all of his hair in Madison, and he doesn't know who to blame it on. So
Yeah, listen to you.
So anyway,
get the hamster wheel rolling.
so we'll see we'll see where that goes if more
No,
answers.
I think you two in the ring having a conversation would be awesome.
Maybe it would ease this tension that's been going on too. I don't know.
There's a lot of tension between the pod shed and the back shed.
Well, that and you know, yeah, there's a little tension between, you know, back talk and developmentally speaking, right? But there's also this tension with Draven, and he's friends with both, so maybe he can, you know, ease the tension or moderate that. I don't know. We'll see.
There might be some nut kicking.
If I have to, like I said, I could probably throw a clothesline. You know, but
So you're gonna
listen, if he wears a shirt, I'm a hockey player. If he wears a shirt, I will be grabbing one sleeve while trying to yank his shirt over his head and punching him with my other hand. So
That's how you do it.
I've been in plenty of those in my life.
Oh, so you could be throwing the shady shot.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've been plenty of times where I've gotten hit, thrown punches, been please, hey, not like hang around a hockey rink, especially you start playing, you know, where you start when you start growing up a little bit, get into high school hockey, and your testosterone is through the roof. You know, all you're doing is trying to kill somebody every time you're on the ice. Every shift, you're just trying to kill somebody. Like,
How many hockey fights has Andy Shades been in?
I don't know.
Lost count after one? You don't remember it?
I obviously couldn't tell you how many. and they didn't stop when I stopped playing.
So
You know, through.
I never played hockey. I played roller hockey. Is it literally like what they say in Mighty Ducks? Gloves, shirt.
I mean,
What is that? What is that rotation, Tony? I know you know what I'm talking about.
I know. I
well,
wasn't.
so
There's detail. I mean, they talk about it as like gloves.
well, yeah. Go ahead, Tony, if you got something to say on it, then I'll explain my piece.
I mean, it's stick, glove,
There you go.
shirt. Yeah. So,
No, it's really. I mean, there's usually a conversation prior, unless something dirty happened and you're just going after somebody, and then you go after them. When you get there, you lose your shit, and you yeah, it's kind of shirt, but you grab that shirt because you want to grab that shirt so they don't have leverage. You grab that jersey so they don't have leverage on you, right? If once you grab their shirt, you control them.
Right. You can't control where they go.
Yeah. So, but it's very different from what you see in professional hockey, because technically fighting in any youth all the way through college, and so that includes college hockey, fighting's an injection and possible
Right.
suspension. So it's a lot more dirty. It's a lot of cheap shots. It's a lot of scrums. It's a lot of, you know, and in your youth days, it's full cage too, right? So anybody who was dumb enough to wear a full cage, not a full shield, you've also got something to grab a hold of there and control them.
Okay, so now I kind of understand a hockey fight here. I mean, how that works. You know, you've seen them. I mean, back in the 90s and whatever, there were actual fights. You know, now it's like, oh, well, you guys are done. But No, that makes sense. I never really thought about it when the 6 gloves shirt actually came into play.
I mean, if you drop your gloves and square up to fight, you're going to be ejected. But that doesn't mean you. I'll tell you what. You put a shield in front of your face and get punched by somebody with their glove on, whatever, as a cheap shot. That's going to rattle you more than any punch you take to the face.
Right.
That rattles your entire head. And that's what's
nuts.
That's what it's like
I've
coming
seen
up
hockey
through
fights. I mean, we all have. I mean, but
that, I mean, you got to get your shot in before the ref's in there, completely breaking teams apart in a scrum. You know what I mean?
well, back in the day, though, they didn't do that, though, in the NHL. They didn't break it up. They just let it go.
I will tell you what
somebody
my
fell
thing
the
was.
ice.
If I was finishing a play and hitting somebody, or just taking them out of the play by putting them against the boards, generally wasn't just that. Once the hit took place, or even if it was just a pin up against the boards, pinning somebody up against the boards to take them out of the play, there'd be a random elbow that comes up in their face. There'd be a punch that comes up, as we're breaking up, going away, throw the fist back.
Oh, right.
A lot of dirt. Yeah, I mean, if you were dumb enough not to wear a cup and I was playing against you, I was the king of the cup check. Take your stick between their legs and make sure
stay one.
Not kicking. You take your stick and make sure they got a cup on.
Well, if you kick with ice skates on, that's a laceration or something. You're making sure the nuts are coming out. I guess.
But I've been in knockdown, drag out fights in high school hockey where somebody's grabbing somebody and there's a ton of wrestling matches and you're trying to get on top of the other guy and bash his head in the ice, and the refs don't know what to do because they're sitting. And then the coaches are coming out, and then everybody's off. And again, the testosterone is flying, right? So you get taken off the ice. The refs are like, "Fuck this game, it's over," and you're off. And then there's fights between the two locker rooms, and the teams are yelling at each other, and coaches are trying to. And then the cops show up. Like, that's high school hockey.
We didn't have, like, my school growing up, we didn't have high school hockey. I mean, it's, hearing this it's mind blowing to me because we don't have high school hockey here. Where my school I grew up, we're little school, whatever, but around us, it's like, God, I wish I would have watched more high school hockey back in the day.
Oh yeah, and it didn't stop there. Like, my game. That was my game. I was the guy you don't want to play against, but I had some skill too. And even in my younger days, like even in the early days of men's league and stuff, I was probably the youngest one on the team. But like, the other guys would have their wives there or whatever. I'd have girlfriend or future wife, whatever, was there, and they used to say, like, you could ask my wife when she used to go watch me play. They'd say to her, "Does he not know how small he is?" Because I'd be picking on the biggest dude on the ring.
You were AKA the goon.
No, I had skill.
So you weren't a goon? Like the
To an
movie The
extent.
Goon? Goon 1 and Goon 2?
A goon is a guy who can't play. All he's there to do is fight. Right?
Nice.
But I was an antagonizer. But, like, I would go after the biggest guy on the rink. But here's the thing. Like, I was the smallest guy, and believe it or not, then 150 pounds with equipment on. Also probably one of the fastest. I was also one of the I was probably one of the fastest guys in the rink too. So you go pick on the biggest guy, and when you get him pissed off to where all he wants to do is chase you around the rink, and you got him out of his game. He's not playing anymore. He's trying to chase you around the rink, and he can't catch me, and I'm scoring goals. Like, it works.
Oh, and then I think any of us that played hockey, out of three of us, besides you, Andy. Justin, did you play hockey?
Yeah, on PlayStation, Xbox, Super Nintendo.
Tony, did you play hockey besides video game?
Nope, there's no hockey around here.
I played a little bit of roller hockey, but it's a whole different world with roller hockey. But so, Andy, the question I have for you: did you ever take your skate off and try to stab somebody?
No.
Oh, okay.
So as mean and as gritty as I was on the rink, I was also the first guy in the handshake line to tell that guy that I had beef with all game long. Good game, and he played hard. Like, it got left to me, it got left on the rink.
Cool.
Sure, I was there when it didn't get left on the rink, but that wasn't me doing that. That was, teammates or whatever, or the other team or what have you. But I would be the first guy in the handshake line. And when you got to the guy who you were battling with all night long, telling him he played a great game, good luck, next game.
So you were a bad guy, but you were a nice guy after the game.
I was a hockey player.
Yep, perfect.
That's all. The final whistle goes. The game is over. Over. There's a winner. There's a loser, but the game is over.
Andy, we always talk about going to support our local events, right?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get to support this one. This is the first event I missed in a long time. But for this event, Sioux Falls Stampede, they do the wiener dog races. So one night a year, they're the Sioux Falls Wiener Dogs.
Huh.
And they have a wiener dog race at one of the intermissions. It's the first one I missed in a long time. They actually have wiener dogs racing across the ice. It's actually pretty fun to watch. But they're undefeated as the wiener dogs. So if you're undefeated as a name brand of a team, they're the Stampede. They've lost games. They've won titles. But if you're undefeated it's a question to Andy and all of you. So if you're undefeated as a name brand, say it's the Wiener Dogs, Sioux Falls Wiener Dogs, would you keep that name brand and try to make it grow, or do you keep that a special event?
I think you keep it as a special event because you got to keep superstition intact too.
Yep.
Right? So you just go out, we're going to win this game. But if you change it, or you have a variation of that superstition, it should not. And hockey players, I know you hear a lot about baseball players being superstitious, but hockey players, good Lord, there is guys that just won't wash their equipment. And like if you've ever been around stank ass hockey equipment, like you want to die.
Johnson, how do you feel on that? Like if you're on a winning streak, so say it's your Eagles, they take a name brand every year for one game, and they're undefeated as that name brand. Would you change from the Eagles, or would you go? I'm going to go Liberty Bells because that's the only thing Philadelphia rings in mind. Would you go from the Eagles to Liberty Bells or not? Or would you stick with the Eagles?
You said Liberty Bell and rings.
Would you go Liberty Bell, or would you stay with the Eagles?
No, I would stay with the Eagles because I think all that branding stuff's like corny, But that's just me.
It's cool. I mean, it's different. I mean, it's been talked and whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, Tony.
Wiener dogs. You're talking about wiener dogs though. Like that's different. Like that's just fun.
Oh, I mean, literally look up wiener dog races at Stampede games on YouTube sometime and just check it out. They're pretty fun.
Yeah, I just smile every time I hear wiener dog races. So if that's the name, yeah, you change it to that.
The Wiener Dogs? Sioux Falls Wiener Dogs.
Yeah. Even the name, the Sioux Falls Wiener Dogs, that just works. It almost sounds like it rhymes.
The fighting wiener dogs.
The fighting wiener dogs. Sorry, yeah. Sorry, Tony, you corrected me. He's looking it up right now.
Me too.
You literally have one person holding the dog, and they call the dog across. It's awesome.
So, what are you talking about? The Wiener Dogs have not lost a game during their 16 years of play.
Yeah. Well, it's all a Stampede have been alive. But it's a junior hockey team.
They're living!
Against who?
They actually, to be honest, there's actually a story out there with the first race. At every race, this dog has competed, and he retired this year. That's why I bring it up. To be honest, he's a retired wiener dog racer.
Wow.
The
Sold
fighting wiener
out.
dogs are great, so let's keep renaming the Stampede. The fuck?
No, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, they actually wiener dogs race across the ice. It's blue line to blue line.
20 dogs.
Yep. You can enter any really dog in it. It's just wiener dog. But
How often do you think the dachshund guy kept trying to say, it's dachshund? And failed miserably. No, we got wiener dog now. We're not going to call them dachshunds.
I mean, it's crazy. They had a sold out game.
So
10,000
yep.
fans.
And for a town that's about that size. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it's a feel good sports or feel good story. They do this every year. They actually play on pink ice for one night for they pink the rink or however they word it. But you know, Andy, you always were talking about going to support your local events, and these, you know as well as I do, hockey teams, football teams, whatever, arena football, whatever, they put on these events, and it's amazing. I mean, I look at this wiener dog race, it's like one thing I always wanted to be at. I mean, it is. I mean, it's amazing to see. It's a spectacle. But these local events, these, like for the Stampede, Chicago Rush, all these teams that play, these are junior hockey kids hoping to get drafted by the NFL. And they're playing for the money. They're out there to play, and it's amazing to see. I mean, Andy, I know with hockey, you've seen this with the juniors.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
all of us have. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, but these little spectacles that these teams can do, it's amazing. And I see the Fighting Wiener Dogs as, you know, the jerseys go for, they send it to charity and all that. People bid on the jerseys. It's amazing. But
yeah, we actually went
great
to
film.
we went to a I don't know. I don't even know if it was an affiliated. I think it was affiliated. I think it was like single A baseball game up in Ohio, outside of Cleveland.
Yep.
The Lake. It was the Captains, Lake City Captains, which was on Lake Erie. They did a night where they did. You remember? What was that game on Nickelodeon? Had the big, like, mountain head that talked. Anybody know what I'm talking about? It was a game show.
Temple.
Yeah.
I can't remember the whole. Yep. The
What was
Legends
it?
of the Hidden Temple. The Legends of the Hidden Temple. Justin said.
So they were doing a promo with that night, and so their jerseys were for that, and they were selling them or auctioning them off. And so when we were there, I bought one for one of my sons, and he got to go down on the field and get it autographed by the player after the game. So, like, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's cool stuff.
No, I mean, it's those little things that these, you know, Andy, I always go back to how you were talking about going to support your local events, right? And that's what I have here is this. And it's like, this is amazing because it goes to a cause and all that. And I can't remember what the cause was this year, but they do the wiener dog races every week. And I'm waiting for Justin to laugh every time he hears wiener dogs. But it's amazing. I mean, and they try to put on these events, and that's what gets these events going is little things like this. And I love it.
Yeah.
Kind of like that gopher sitting behind Justin. You know, he just sits there and dances.
But we can never hear it. We can never hear him.
He's
He
not
tried to
doing
play it
anything.
last time.
He didn't put the batteries in it.
Oh, there he is.
You can't hear that?
I can hear it.
I can hear it.
Barely.
Here, he's gonna stop. I like when he stops and goes again. Oh, he's getting this
No.
guy on it.
Oh, hey, dancing with him too. Thumbs up.
He's like, thumbs
No,
up,
I just want to give a shout out to the Sioux Falls Stampede with the Wiener Dogs, and they do the Wiener Dog races. It's amazing. I mean, it is. I mean, I know across the country, all these teams do this. It's a little shout out to them. I mean, it's amazing what they do.
Yeah. So, with that being said, and going to local shows, Tony, you had a good time at Supreme Wrestling.
Yeah, it was fun. Marcus showed up there too with us, so it was a good time. Me and him, were cutting up a little bit. So it kind of felt like back in the days, when fading out of the Attitude Era, I guess, when you would have the whole crowd, when the ref, the 1, 2, and then you have the whole crowd, 2! I really wanted to start doing that the whole time, me and Marcus, yeah.
So, Tony, the question is, you going back?
I do have to go back the 19th. It is in Seymour. So, it is around somebody's birthday, so I said I would attend that show. So,
yeah, February 19th is the next Seymour show, which is my birthday, yes.
Well, speaking of that, Andy, you're going to Daytona again, aren't you?
No, we decided not to make.
Oh, you decided not to? I thought you were.
We sold our tickets and we're staying home. So, just too much going on.
I get you in that. It's life.
Yeah.
So
anyway,
Tony, I guess my question to you is: are you hooked on Supreme Wrestling? Are you gonna keep going every show?
No, not every show. I mean, I might.
Come on, man.
One a month, but I mean, it's like an almost a little over, I think, an hour and a half drive from me to Madison.
It's your hometown. How do you not go support your hometown?
I know.
Have your Hickory burger. I
mean, that's a long drive. If it was late, if it was earlier in the day, maybe, but late at night, yeah, it's a little rough.
Well, they are in Seymour once a month.
So, I mean, I will catch an occasional Seymour show, and then maybe catch an occasional.
You only go to Seymour butts.
Mm-hmm. No, Andy, when I come and see you in Seymour, we gotta plan this out.
Yeah, we're gonna go to a show. Yeah, you go.
Yeah.
Tell Draven. You could be like Tony, except non-fanboy it, and tell Draven how you feel about him.
Yeah.
Whatever. I can get you an autograph.
Do it now because it's not worth it.
So did you get Rhino's autograph too?
I did somewhere. I didn't. I think I still have it on the paper. I just grabbed this one. So
there you have it. Well, I think we ought to wrap up the show with picking a number. And since Dustin, this is your drinking show, and we don't have a number to pick from somebody else, pick a number. Seven.
Do we need to pick a number? We didn't read from the book last week, did we?
No. 7 through 34, Dustin.
7. Do we have 7 yet?
Did we do 7?
We did.
Well, I want to say Tipmaster says 7, but I don't know if Tipmaster did 7.
That's the first page.
Yeah. Yeah, we read that page.
All right. So do we need 2 numbers though?
No, just 1.
Do we know what numbers we did already?
And how many shots do you have left?
We did
1.
25.
It's right here. I'm saving that for the end.
25. We did 7. Anybody else remember any other pages we did?
I did 23 one night. I know that.
Yeah.
So 7 to what?
7 to 34.
8.
Second
page.
I was going to say 8.
8 for Junior and 8 for Kyle Busch for driving the 8 this year.
So, page 8 of our book, or Draven's book, Why Are My Nuts in the Toilet Water? This doesn't always work, as the rim may be cold, or it can also be slippery, causing the boys to fall back down into the water, sometimes causing a splash. Using a washcloth, a nearby magazine, or a bunch of wadded up toilet paper strategically placed between the boys and the rim may be a solution here. The other possible solution is to physically hold them up out of the water with your hand. I'm currently working on a type of net to try to keep them dry. I haven't figured out if it should be hooked to the toilet seat or to the upper thighs. Oh well, I'll let you know when and if I get the design worked out. I will most likely sell it on TV with an infomercial. I'll call it something like the Nut Nest and sell it for $14.99 plus $5.99 shipping.
I need that.
I haven't seen that yet. I'm still working on it.
I'm still working on it. I haven't seen it yet.
I
Yeah,
think there's a book too. After we finish this one, we have to see if he followed up with it.
yeah, we'll have to check that out. So there you have,
Who's
there
the
you have
author
page
again?
8.
Who's the author again?
Eric
Author
David.
Alan F. Mahan.
How have we not said that before?
I don't know.
How's he spelling Mahon?
Mahon. Mahan.
He probably pronounces it man.
Oh.
We should see if there's an interview with him. We're talking with Alex Mann about.
Maybe we should get him to come on here.
Yeah.
We
We're
should
reading
see-
your
yeah.
book, man.
We're reading
Come
your
on.
book. We're the only one. And there's 4 of us
There was one bot.
because of one fucking inside joke on a podcast. I don't understand. You're like a god now.
So, well, that's going to wrap us for today. Good show. We'll go around the horn as we always do. We ended with Tony. Didn't let him say much off the beginning, so we'll start with Tony. Tony, what's going on?
Nothing. Good show. Great to be back. Get back from vacation, so I'm just starting to get adjusted back to work. So my first full week, so we'll see how that goes. So yeah, just keep listening, keep watching, and yeah, we're having fun.
Yeah, make sure you hit that like button, too. Share it.
Yeah.
Dustin, what you got?
Oh, not much. Just looking forward to the next week. Just having some fun. Justin, I think we got something going on with this video game conversation we started at the beginning of this show.
Mm-hmm.
Me and you might need to get together and talk video games a little bit more. I think we have a little bit of different view on video games, but love the conversation today. Andy, I'm a little disappointed that nothing happened this week. You know, we didn't have a video that we didn't get to share. But Tony got to meet his heroes. I don't know.
Minding my P's and Q's.
You chilled out, and I appreciate that. You know, you did good with that. Tony got the fanboy out. You know, that's important too, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, good show. Like I said, everybody, just have some fun. Enjoy life. The suicide thing that Seymour or that Supreme Wrestling put on. It's a great thing. Or it's a good cause. Everybody thinks about it, does what they do. But enjoy life. I said it last week. Take vacations. Have a good time. Enjoy everything you do in life. It's not much else to do there. You know, we're only given one. So go out there and enjoy it. With that, cheers up. 4th one.
Oh shit.
Justin, what do you got?
Drinking Pepsi now that I ran out. I was drinking with Dustin. Now, make sure you're listening, downloading, printing it out, rolling it up, and shoving it up your butthole because it feels good. And while nothing happened on Saturday, it's a blessing because that means nothing bad happened. And we had a peaceful week, so we'll take that. We'll see where it goes, though, right? Andy?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. See if Morty picks a date or a time or something. I don't
Hey,
know.
if nothing else, we're getting a little closer with what could be a good song, you know, for you.
Yeah.
You know, like that rap song you wanted to parody forever. It's finally coming to something, whatever that word is. Fruition?
Fruition?
No. Real quick though, before we go, was that all your criticisms for that? You want to almost meld the two together, basically.
Yeah, kind of. We'll discuss off. off the show, but
unofficially. We'll discuss it unofficially for not them to hear. Right.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I like it. I like where it's headed, and I think it's cool.
I think
thanks
you
everybody
guys
for
all have parts in it. You know.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody for tuning in this week again. Make sure you hit that like, hit that share, comment. Algorithms love that stuff. You guys just be helping us out. So if you like the show, enjoy the show.
We did not put out that they can email us. Tony, how can they email us?
I think it's at backtalkus@gmail.com.
Yes, that's right.
Totally.
Yeah, let us know. We'll start reading comments too if you guys want to just comment on stuff. That's cool.
Yeah,
too. So,
right.
Interact with us. We like it. Anyway, until next week. Nuts up.
Nuts up, everybody except Tony.
Tony's got a nut down.